speedrunning because there's a lot of items in this game. Yeah, okay? Okay. Close quarters, D tier. Nobody buys this shit. Does it upgrade to... It upgrades to fucking point blank, right? Point blank is actually somewhat usable now. So, like, this is super niche. And almost no one buys it unless you're, like, running, like, the other thing after. In general, 800 items... I was gonna say 800 items are bad, but okay. S tier, headshot booster, best harassment item in the game, still for the damage. Cooldown is very low. If you compare it to something like Mystic Burst, funnily enough, which is like an average item, which I'll put in B tier. Yourself, stop spamming my fucking YouTube video, okay? You're in my face. Stop. You're ruining it. Now Chunk has to cut more, because of you. All for 5 cents. Jesus fucking Christ. This is gonna take so long. No, I'll speedrun. Yo, Mystic Burst, long cooldown, okay? Extended magazine, actually mid stats, but builds into Titanic, so it's not D tier. Monster rounds, A tier, because it builds into Cultist. High velocity. Mid stat, I don't know. Velocity is not that important, I think it's C tier. Rapid rounds, same thing, C tier. Resto shot, actually somewhat useful for healing. A tier. Active reload. Bro, they keep on buffing this item. It has to be good eventually. It still feels clunky to use. It still feels clunky to use. C tier. Backstabber, A tier. Actually, really solid item. Fleetfoot, S tier. Easy. Actually, I'll put it... Fleetfoot is not good on every character, but on left click it's insane. Intensifying magazine, D tier. Actually bait. Really bad item. Even on characters that perma shoot like Wraith, it's really bad. It gives less value than Titanic early, because you can't keep up your ammo for that long, and like late game there's better items for damage, and it doesn't upgrade to anything. This item is trash. This item is trash. Kinetic dash, good, solid, B tier, B tier. High fire rate, actually really high value for yeah, okay. Long range, but upgrades into sharpshooter, which is better. Snipers and long range not that good right now, so D tier. Melee charge, B tier. Upgrades into fists. Mystic shot, C tier. Opening rounds, actually A. This item is insane. This item compared to intensifying, this gives 40% damage instantly. This gives, what does it, 45 after 3 seconds. This gives 40% damage instantly. And when they're half, they get bursted down. Couldn't you wait a bit more until I came with the tier list? Sorry, man. That's why you gotta be here early. Gotta be a fan. Slowing X is insane. I think this item is insane. It slows dash now. It's really easy to apply. I think this item is fucking insane. Soul Shredder really good on the right heroes. Issue is Spirit is not that great right now. It's still a great item. Split Shot I think is bait. I don't know. People use this to farm, but like it doesn't farm much faster. I think it's almost unusable in team fights. You can't rely on hitting multiple targets. It's super situational. D tier. Swift Striker, B tier. Solid stats. Titanic, A tier. Weakening headshots, D tier. They buffed this. I don't even know what it does other than like like it's too expensive. I know it update. Like I'll rate it C tier because it updates into crippling. Alchemical Fire is actually kind of bad right now. I don't know. C tier. Berserk, A tier. Bullet resist on the right heroes is insane. Okay, first controversial probably take of this video or the stream. I think Blood Tribute is actually kind of good. Well, I'll put it C. I think it's actually not useless. People buy it to... I bought this against like Mo and Krill and shit, and if you activate it at the right time, the good thing about it is you can activate it at any time. So on tanky characters, 50% debuff resist actually does a lot, right? Close quarters is OP for melee players. I don't think melee is that great right now, and close quarters is not what makes it OP. It's crushing fists, in my opinion. And again, I think point blank is what makes... Like, point blank is pretty good, and that's why I didn't rate it lower. I think close quarters is mid at best. Burst fire, pretty okay. Cultist, S tier. This item is OP. Escalating. B tier. Situational, but like actually, it's actually the high B tier because it gives like good stats. I need to speed it up. What do you think of Express Shot? It's still usable, right, on like certain characters. I'll give it B tier. Headhunter A tier. I don't think it's S tier anymore. I don't think it's like a rush must play item. I think Heroic is undervalued. I'll put it actually B tier. I think Bullet Resist is going to become more and more important. The meta is already shifting to more gun damage. Hollow Point. I think this item is kind of bad. Value-wise. I think this item is still kind of bad, even though it got buffed. Hunter's Aura, I don't see anyone buying this, so I'll rate it D, even though maybe it might be better than I think. Weighted Charts, actually B. It's actually really high stats for 3k. And the downsides are very minor. Heroic is A tier. It is a good support item, right? Yeah, it's hard, like, I don't know. The thing is, it's a support item, but like, if you play it on a support, you don't really benefit from the fire rate. I'll rate it high B. I just think it's anti-synergy. Like, I think it's not... It doesn't give good stats for support heroes, other than helping your team, right? Like, I don't know, man. I know it gives you bullet resist, but you can get bullet resist somewhere else. Okay, yo. Why buy Heroic Aura if you can buy Escalating Resilience if you want bullet resist? 15%, 30% fire rate, movement speed, yeah? Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Escalating, 125 bonus health, 15% weapon damage, 30% armor, and almost double the bullet resist. It's almost double. It is double, actually, if you have it max stacks, which on most characters you can get really fast. Yes, I know Escalating is just for me. Yes, I know this is for the entire team. But who the fuck... Which support hero cares about 30% fire rate? Oh, it does work on your teammates too, huh? Yeah, okay, maybe this item is OP. The active, that is. Yeah, it always worked. I don't know why, I forgot. Like, I knew. I played this on Wraith. It always worked on your teammates, yeah. Okay. Okay, you convinced me. Wait, this item might be low-key OP. I'll put it... Okay, yo, clickbait for the YouTube thumbnail. Now, this is actually kind of OP, no? The thing is, most people are selfish. They wouldn't buy this. Yeah, I know. The resist is always 15% for everyone. I know. Toxic Bullets, actually mid-item, no? I think it's a mid-item. It's good on certain characters, but I don't think it's that good. Tesla Bullets, mid-item also. Only really works on like 2 characters, right? Or like 3. Like it's I don't think it's that good, but it does build into Capacitor, which is actually a good item. Spirit Rent, apparently OP. Because of the you can reapply the debuff or amplify the debuff as a teammate. So if multiple people shoot one target, they're gonna be insanely debuffed. I think this OP. There's also like a team item kind of thing, but this is like you don't see this effect, but like people die faster and you don't really notice it. But I think it's actually low-key OP. Sharpshooter is also a great option. I'm gonna rate Sharpshooter B though, because like a lot of characters this would be good on are not really being used, right? I think it's a great situational item for Wraith. What do you think about Spiritual Overflow now? I don't have an opinion about Spiritual. Chat, this is chat's choice. Where do we put this? I haven't bought this like once, man. Okay, we'll rate it C. Mid-item. Spellslinger. I think Spellslinger is an overrated item. And I'll tell you why. 60% fire rate is obviously better than 60% weapon damage, right? And it does give you cooldown reduction and reload. It's a good item, okay? Let me preface this with saying it's a good item. But on a lot of characters where you want the fire rate, that character already has a high fire rate and it stacks diminishingly. And I've noticed this on Wraith and Warden in both of my builds. I tend to build multiple pretty high fire rate items before, so the overall value that Spellslinger gives you in terms of damage is not that high for a 6k item. Now that being said, obviously you have not instant reload, you have 60% reduced reload, right? So it's really fast. But I think it's genuinely kind of overrated. you always get the stacks ASAP. I guess there's certain heroes where you want the fire rate. Who do you buy this on, chat? I know it's a great item on Warden and Wraith. And like probably like Infernus. I don't think is it that good on Haze? Really? I would imagine like it's kind of hard to build or keep max stacks on Haze. I know the combo with Fleetfoot technically, right? I know if you buy Fleetfoot, you can technically keep it active at all times. The better the fire rate, the better the probability to apply it every 0.7 seconds. Yes, if you have a low fire rate before and then you have a really fast fire rate, then it's going to be more consistent to apply Siphon stacks. My point is most characters that use Siphon already have a high fire rate, so the Siphon doesn't really... Oh, sorry, the Spellslinger doesn't really help with the Siphon is my point. Right, like if I play Wraith, I will proc, if I aim properly, I will proc Siphon every 0.7 seconds. Same for Ivy, same for McGinnis, same for Haze, same for Infernus, right? Like, there's there's cases like Mirage and Warden where maybe you want the fire rate. My point is on most characters, I think it's a bit overrated. I'll put it A tier, okay? I'll put it A tier. But people are acting like this is the second coming of God, best DPS item, and I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it's overrated. Armor piercing is actually also overrated. This is overrated. I'll tell you why. It's a hard counter to another item in the game, which is plated. So you have to spend 6k to counter a 6k item, right? Kinda. But if the enemy doesn't have plated, it's not that great. Because if you look at the numbers, actually, right? If you look at what this actually gives you. 2/3 of your bullets, not even 2/3, right? 60% of your bullets go through the armor. And that sounds really good. Until you do the actual math. Let's say an enemy... So, chat. Let's say an enemy has 30% bullet resist. That's pretty high on average, I'd say, right? Let's say you fight an enemy that has 30% bullet resist. Would you rather have armor-piercing rounds? Or something like Spellslinger? Or something like a combo of like weighted shot hollow point? I can tell you that hollow point, weighted shots, or Spellslinger is going to do more damage to that target than armor piercing. Even at 30% resist. Because it doesn't give you anything other than bullet. Like, it doesn't give you anything else, right? Yeah. You buy this as a counter to plated, and if you really want to kill a Viscous in ball form, right? There's some characters like Yamato Viscous that have inherently, with certain abilities, really high bullet resist, right? So it's a counter item to specific heroes. But I find myself, even in games where the enemy has Viscous, right? I find myself looking at their stats and it doesn't justify me spending 6.4k on an item to reduce like 2 people's armor and the other people don't even have that much armor to make it worth, is my point. I think this is a very overrated item. It's mid B tier or low B tier because it's a counter. But I don't think it's like a core item, or shouldn't be a core item in 99% of games actually, or 90% plus. Crippling Headshot, I also think is like kind of mid, right? If you look at, I think old Crippling Headshot was better than new. I know new gives you healing reduction, right? But the old Crippling Headshot gave almost double the resist shred, right? 18% on both is not that much anymore. And it's the same thing as with armor piercing. Well, it's the same thing with most items. It doesn't give you anything else, right? Stat-wise. Other than health. I think it's a pretty big investment. It's good for like 1 or 2 people on your team to have it, but I don't actually want to buy this on hard carry characters in most cases, I would say. Like, just having more damage and more uptime is more valuable in my opinion. So yeah, I'll rate this B tier. Crushing Fist is actually still OP, I think. I mean, melee got a bit nerfed. Keep in mind, melee got nerfed per boon, right? Every character in the game does less melee damage in this game, the longer the game goes on, because it got nerfed per boon. So per level up, every character does less melee damage. But the reason Crushing Fist is so OP is not even because of the stun effect. It's because it's like 10-meter radius, so you can very easily fake out the melee and then punch them to death after, right? It's like... yeah, I don't know. This item is kind of stupid, bro. This item is kind of stupid. It gives you insane mobility too, by the way. Like, you can use it for movement and shit. Yeah, I know it's more than 10 meters. It's like insane range. It's like a range attack. And so what you can do is you can halfway punch to the enemy. They're gonna parry, and then you do the swing where you go. You do this, right? Where you fake the melee. right? And then you go like left or right at the very last moment, and then you just punch them. And they can't even run away after because the range is so high. And then you just punch them to death. Yeah, exactly. Like parrying should be a counter to melee, but it's so easy to bait out the parry with Crushing Fists that it doesn't matter. Frenzy, I think, situationally okay, but I think it got over-nerfed. I don't know why they nerfed it so quickly. Frenzy had 2 days in the sun where it was really good, and then they nerfed it a bit too much, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. Like, they might have over-nerfed it, to be honest. Because, like, in most cases, I would rather buy something else. Yeah, I don't know. I'll actually rate it low B, or my... for the record, I still buy this on Warden sometimes. I think there's use cases, but I just don't think for a 6k item it's worth in most cases. Same for Silencer. I think Silencer is first trash tier item. This might be super controversial because I see some people buy this. But if you look at what it's way worse than Old Silencer, right? Old Silencer immediately gave you... immediately gave the enemy 40%, I think, reduction in spirit damage. Now it's only 25. The silence duration is half a second longer, right? And it does give you spirit resist, but spirit resist is pretty easy to come by in this patch. And why buy Silencer if you can just buy Inhibitor, right? Look at Inhibitor. It's just better. I'd rather have the enemy deal 35% less damage on everything and give them 30% healing reduction and give myself 15% weapon damage and health than you know, only 25% less spirit. It's worse. It's just worse. And the silence effect... There's multiple ways to silence the enemy. It can be good against like Pocket or something, right? But like a lot of the time you silence them and they get out because it doesn't last long enough to kill them. I think it's a bad item. I think it's trash. Shadow Wave, situational. I want to say Shadow Wave is actually better than most people give it credit for. I think people should buy it more. It's like a situational pick. If you need pick off character, it's very good. The stats didn't get nerfed compared to every other item in the game. I think it's good. I B tier. Okay, we need to speed it up, bro. There's so many items. Ricochet, okay. Ricochet is better than before. Actually buyable. Like, in combination with Inhibitor, it's insane on certain characters like Mirage. Lucky Shot. Can someone explain to me why you would ever buy Lucky Shot? Please. The numbers don't add up. I don't get it. I'm not gonna spend 6k for 40% extra ammo. And ammo is usually not an issue. And it does give you less. If you do the math, right, 25 times here. 25% of the time it does 125% bonus damage, right? So it's 0.25 times 125. So the overall damage is 31%, no? Am I missing something? Yes, I know there's like... I know if you have to like sell Titanic and you need ammo, then it's like nice to have the 40% extra ammo. But like, even then, man, it's like... So this item gives me 31%, maybe a bit more if the math is incorrect, because I think it's... Yeah, it can't even do headshots. Why not buy an item that gives you just like... Why not Hollow Point or high velocity weighted rounds for half the price, you know? Do you really want to spend double to get 40% extra ammo? I don't know. I think Lucky Shot is trash. I'll put it in trash tier. Next. Glass Cannon. I think also our resident Haze main said something very interesting yesterday. 80% weapon damage is actually insane base stats. It's actually insane base stats, right? It's the highest base damage in the game, right? So if you can get this, I have this in my build as situational, and I want to try it more. Because I think if you get this early, it can actually be really insane. Because as soon as you get like 3 stacks, it's insane, right? Even as at base. And 10% max health reduction is not that much, right? Anymore. I don't think it's that shit. I think this is... Like, it's not better than B. It's not better than B. It's like a B tier item. But I think if you get ahead very early, you can rush this as your first 6k and actually do well. Yeah, I think this item is undervalued by most people. Extra health, whatever, you know, like extra regen, whatever. It's probably more solid. I would say it's more solid than Healing Right now because it gives you a 3.5 base, but Healing Right builds into Healing Right builds into the most broken item in the game, Healing Nova. So, you know, that's whatever. Extra Stamina is also very solid still, because it builds both into Kinetic Dash, which I think is very good. And it builds into... Where is it? Bing! Arcane Surge. Arcane Surge is still crazy, you know? It's an 80 item, easily. On the characters, this is so good. This is so good on so many characters. Melee Lifesteal, very solid. Because it's a melee item. Rebuttal is a counter item, so I'll put it C tier. You don't really buy this. Unless you're against Viscous, or if you're like really confident with your parries. A lot of the time this doesn't give you enough value. I think it's only solid against Viscous. Spin Boots? Spin Boots is actually, I think, a very good item in lane. People don't buy this enough in lane. I buy it as first item on Wraith, because it gives you sprint speed to farm boxes. And more importantly, it gives you 2 out of combat regen. Which is a lot for 800, right? It's more than half of extra regen, right? And it gives you the sprint speed. And it builds into enduring, which I think is a really good item. So yeah. Solid. Battle Vest is really insane. Same for Enchanters. These items are probably a bit too good, to be honest. I'll put them both S tier. I think both of those items give insane value. They're like the old barriers. They're like old Enchanters and Combat Barrier. They're a bit weaker in lane, but better for the rest of the game, right? And you don't have to buy both, right? Before in the meta, when we had the old items, you would buy barriers in lane and then you would go Spirit or Bullet Resist. And this is both, right? Yeah, they're fucking insane. Both of them. They're insane. Because, like, the stats they give you, you have to be above 65% health, and that's pretty easy to do in most cases. So, like, they're crazy. Bullet Lifesteal is absolute dog shit, but it does build into an insane item. So I'm not going to rate it trash there, but nobody ever buys Bullet Lifesteal to get that, what is it, 16% now or something? Lifesteal, it's so bad. Same for Spirit Lifesteal. I think these items are both trash. Spirit may be a bit better. Spirit may be a bit better. Debuff Reducer is still solid as fuck. Enduring Speed is actually really high value, I think, now. It's actually really strong, chat. If you look at the stats, it gives you 2 meters movement speed at all times for 1600, plus the slow reduction. I think it's very good. People need to buy this item more. Guardian Ward, nobody buys this anymore, right? I see way less Divine Barriers too. I think they're kind of mid now. Divine has its use cases. I'll put Divine in B tier because Divine, you can cleanse certain things like Affliction and shit, right? I think it's still very solid, but like I think Guardian Ward, I don't see people rush this. It's just... Do you think Divine is higher than B? I think Divine is not always good. I think Divine is like a good counter item. That's why I don't want to rate it higher than high B. Return Fire is broken. This item is actually broken. Buy this item. It's actually broken. It's like top 3 items in the game, I think. Well, I'm gonna rate it low S because it's not good on every character, but on tanky characters, this hard counters DPS characters. If you buy this early, a DPS can't fight you while you have it on. They will kill themselves on you. Because it gives like insane return fire damage, right? Restorative Locket, A tier. Restore Locket is not healing Nova, so I'll put it A tier. Reactive Barrier, mid. Spirit and Weapon Shielding are trash tier items. Some people think these are good. I think they're absolute dog shit because they only give you HP. They are passive items that only give you defense. They give you nothing else. Whereas Enchanters and Battle Vest help you and give you effective HP too, but they have a positive effect, right? They have more cooldown, more damage for you. And these items give you nothing. I think they're shit. People that buy this, they're like, oh, I don't want to die in lane. It's like an item that bad players buy that expect to lose the lane. Like, you only buy this if you expect to lose. But if I expect to lose, for example, if I would play Wraith, right? Then I would play passive and just farm boxes and not engage, right? Like, if you know you can't win the lane, then you don't engage in the fight in the first place. And if you know you can win the lane, then you don't buy these items because you just buy something aggressive and kill them. I think they're dog shit. Healing Boost are very good. B tier. Healbane, C-. This item really fell off. This was one of the best items for the longest time in the game. I think it's still core on Shiv because Shiv gets the last hit, so Shiv really benefits from like staying alive with this. But it's very low anti-heal now. Almost no other character buys this. And the issue with it is it also doesn't upgrade into anything. So it fills a slot that you would rather have something else on most of the time. So I think it's a very mediocre, below par item. These items I still feel very strongly about. Some people buy these, they're absolute fucking dog shit. Don't buy these items. I see people in Eternus buy these, it's a fucking waste of money. They did get buffed a bit, but they're so fucking dog shit. They just like weapon and spirit shielding, where they give you resist but nothing else, and the effect of when you're below 30% you get more. I don't care, bro. You're dead at that point. I think they're really bad. And if you want, especially if you want spirit resist, there's so many items in the game that give you the same, if not better value for the same price, like Fury Trance, for example, right? Like, I think these items are dog shit. Counter spell is S tier. Fucking broken item. You should actually buy this every game, on every character, unironically. Once people get good at using this, it's like the best item in the game. Right now, it's only the second best item in the game. I need to buy this more. Debuff Remover is still easily A+ tier. Debuff Remover, there's just too many effects in the game that you want to remove, and Debuff Remover is the only counter to it. Counter spell needs a buff? Okay, you're delusional. This is like old E-Shift. Okay. Old E-Shift was completely broken, and it was like used against like Lash ult, right? Counterspell does the exact same thing instantly, and then you can shoot instantly, and you negated all the damage they did. In fact, you can negate all the damage within a certain time window. It's so insane. It's so insane, man. Remover S tier? Yeah, you might be correct, actually. Yeah, A tier is actually kind of crazy. Fortitude is also an A tier. It's still hard to stay on the lane or stay on the map without going back to base constantly in this meta. And healing regeneration is hard to come by, and lifesteal is hard to come by. So it's hard to sustain, and Fortitude just fixes that issue for a lot of characters. And it gives you movement speed, which you also want in this meta. So easily A tier. So here, most controversial pick of the video maybe. So the thing is, Fury Trance is not... I don't think it's an item that you want to buy on every character. But I think any left clicker in the game, this item is crazy. Any left clicker. I'm saying Mirage, Warden, Wraith, Haze, Infernus. I think on every single one of those characters, this item is completely broken. I don't think Capacitor is situational. I think it's situationally S tier, and even if the enemy doesn't have anything for you to debuff remove, it's still insane. 100% slow damage is insane. Okay, like listen. Yo, bro. Fury Trance. You need to understand, chat, if you want to be smarter than the average player, buy this item and learn how to use it. I have, like... The way you have to think about Fury Trance is... It's a divine barrier against spirit damage. You want to use this defensively if the enemy is about to burst you. If I know that the pocket is going to jump me, or if I know the lash is going to jump me, or anything's high spirit, I proc this and I don't take any damage. If I take a 1v1 against Geist, I proc this and I don't take any damage. If you look at the stats it gives you, okay? For 3k, you get 40% fire rate, which is the same as burst fire, right? Basically. 22% lifesteal. On top of that for free. Plus health. Plus 40% spirit resist. And yes, there's a downside, right? You're silenced. And if you use it at the wrong moment, it can fuck you, right? If you use this incorrectly, you can get into a situation where you can't get out. But if you build enough movement speed and you're good at sliding, things like reloading is not going to be an issue. And things like staying alive for 6 seconds is not going to be an issue. I haven't played I'm not an Infernus expert. Maybe it's not that good on Infernus. But I can tell you, I never run out of ammo with this item on like Wraith or Warden because I just slide. I think this item is broken. Rescue Beam, S tier, yes. Insane counter item on supports to so many things. It's insane for the price too. This item is crazy. Metal Skin. I want to say Metal Skin is A tier and actually underrated by most players. Especially now that Gun becomes more... Like, Gun becomes stronger and stronger right now, right? Like, Gun is pretty scary right now, so this is like the hard counter to Gun, for sure. Really good value for 3k. Majestic Leap, I'm gonna put high B. Really solid item to initiate. Core, obviously, on like something like Old Warden or Pocket, right? Metal Skin is garbage because of Capacitor. It's actually a fair point. I think most people don't run it though. I don't think everyone runs Capacitor, but you are onto something. I'll rate it down B. You are correct. You might be onto something. The thing is, most people don't even buy it against me. It's not like Capacitor is always up. I don't know. I don't think it's trash. Either way. Life Strike, solid as fuck. Melee is good. I'll put it 8 here actually. Stamina Mastery, also really solid. Trophy Collector. Don't buy this item. You're griefing your team. I know most of YouTube comments is gonna hate me for this. I think this item is so bad. I went over it so many times. It's just inconsistent. And that's the issue with it. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, you're fucked. And there will be situations where it will not work. Even if you come out ahead in lane and you buy this early, there might be situations where you suddenly can't get more than a few assists in the next 10 minutes, and then that item is useless. Yeah, it should be called Trash Collector, actually. It's so easy to get stacks on it with Nova. Getting assists is very easy, but if you buy this and you lose like 2-3 teamfights in a row, suddenly it does nothing. And that can happen. Out of spite, I'm gonna make all of the music be random shitty beatboxing in the video. The music I'm playing right now is not copyrighted. You can just copy this 1-to-1. Veil Walker, situationally great, I think. We'll put it B tier. Warpstone, also B tier. Cheat Death. I have not seen a single person ever buy this item and it do anything to me. And I bought it once myself and it did nothing. I've not seen a single time Cheat Death saved anyone from dying, and I've not seen a single time where Cheat Death turned the fight around and you spent 6k on it. It's trash. Colossus good. Needs to be bought more. Needs to be bought more. High B tier. Diviners, same thing, right? Like situationally on certain characters, I think great late game item. Healing Tempo is very insane, I think, on support characters. Because it's really easy to apply and you help out your team for free. And it ups your healing. But it is a late game luxury kind of thing, right? But I can't rate it higher than Healing Booster, but yeah, I'll put it here. Actually, I'll put Healing Booster in A. It's too good, no? Infuser... B. Big price, big effect. Better than Vampiric. Can be very strong. I put it low A. Can save you from a lot of things. Can do a lot of damage. Siphon Bullets, A tier. I don't think it's S tier anymore. I think Rushing Siphon is kind of dead. But like late game, you can buy this kind of brain dead and it will help you in the fights and it will make you more survivable on Mouse 1 characters. Okay, fair point. You bring up a good point. I will rate Healing Tempo higher than Healing Booster because it is true that it helps out the Mouse 1 characters. Plated Armor, great situational item actually. I'll put it A because I think if against certain characters, if they're very farmed, this does a lot, right? If the enemy has a lot of on-hit effects, like this is great against Wraith, this is great against Haste, this is great against Infernus. Great against a lot of characters with Mouse 1. Mirage too. I think it's like one of the best counters to bullet characters. Phantom Strike. Good, no? A tier. Leech. B tier. Actually pretty good. Like it's like if you have like hybrid damage, it can help you a lot. I think it's undervalued. You know what I also think is undervalued? Juggernaut. I couldn't tell you why. Juggernaut got better because they nerfed Enduring. Juggernaut gives you 50% reduction in movement speed penalty. And it reduces the fire rate of the heroes that shoot you by 40%. It's not as great as like plated armor, but it does keep you alive against Mouse 1 characters. I think it builds out of Enduring, which I think is very good. So I think this is a quality of life late game upgrade if you don't have a flex slot. And that's why I rated it. If it was its own item, I would rate it C, by the way. But because it builds out of Enduring and you don't need an extra slot for it, it's very, very solid, I think. Inhibitor, actually super underrated item. I think the more I use this item, you don't notice it. You don't see the effect, but it's insane. Especially if you combine it with like something like Ricochet or Mirage. Inhibitor is insane stats for 6k. Insane. And it gives you anti-heal now. So I can buy this on like something like Wraith and I don't have to buy Toxic Bullets like in addition. It's insane. Spellbreaker got better. I think it's still a really big investment. It's probably the best raw spirit damage reduction, and it gives you 25% debuff resist reduction, right? But I think it's still quite a steep price for what it does. Unstop is easy A tier. It's better than before, and I couldn't tell you why. It's the same price, right? But like, one of the things I can kill you in the game right now is stunts. Yeah, I almost want to put it S tier. I'll put it high A, because it's not good in every single game. Vampir's situational at best. Niche, I would say. Niche. It's not as good as Infuser. Niche, like low C. Witchmail. I forgot what this does. Which means it goes into trash. I actually know what it does. I think it's trash. I don't think I need to explain myself. Do I need to explain myself? Maybe it's D. It's probably better than the trash tier items. Yeah. I'll put it D. I'll put it B. It's not high B tier. This item is not high B tier. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It does... Guys, it's a 6k fucking item.
Streamer, it's gonna reduce my cooldowns on my abilities, and when only my ult is on cooldown, my ult is gonna come back really fast.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It only gives you 20% spirit resist. You're just gonna die, bro. You just spent 6k on 20% spirit resist. The meta is killing the enemy and staying alive. You're not gonna get a second black hole in a fight. In most fights, everyone has their ult. Maybe it's okay on Shiv. But even on Shiv, okay, why would I not want like Leech on Shiv or Spellbreaker or even Juggernaut, or there's so many, or Infuser? Like, why? Or Colossus? All those items I feel like will help me more to stay alive. If you want low cooldowns on Shiv, you just buy this item, which we can rate now. Where is it? Completely broken item. I was wrong on this, by the way. I thought this was like okay, but this is completely broken. It's insane. It's insane. It's too much. It reduces everything by like more than 25%. Everything. All your abilities, all your active items. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, the superior cooldown is so fucking crazy, bro. Like, it's so insane. I think there's always a better item than Trophy Collector, unless you're really far ahead and really confident. You also always have your ult up if you're not a dumbass, so it only will reduce the other cooldowns. My point is, okay, if I'm on Wraith or on Warden or on so many characters on Pocket, right? Like, I can just spam more abilities. Like, you need to play this item to understand how broken it is, in my opinion. Play it, and you will realize. Yeah, Frenzy's C tier. Extra charge, eh. Extra spirit, eh. It's actually really fucking shitty stats. The base stats. And it's not even like the upgrades are that good. Mystic expansion, eh. Like, most 800s are actually kind of mid at best. Mystic regen is still good. Spirit swag is still solid. Russet barrel is actually underbought, I think. I think this item is actually pretty good for 800. And it does upgrade into... where is it? Disarming X, which I think is also a great counter. I'll put it high B. I think it's a great counter to when one enemy... This actually fucks me on Wraith. If one or two people on the other team have this, I need to buy Unstop or Debuff Remover and save it for this item in specific. Otherwise, I can't do damage and I die. And it's not that big of an investment. Yeah, this is underrated. I'll put it low 80, actually. I think this item is really good. What is a barrel item? It reduces enemy fire rate by like 40% for 800. Is it 40 or 30? 35. And it gives you bonus health. Bullet Shredder resist mid at best. I don't know, man. I don't know. The issue with Bullet Shredder resist is the same issue most 1600 items have. They don't up. This does not do enough. It doesn't upgrade to anything, right? So like I'm stuck with that slot. I don't think it's good. Cold Front is good because it does upgrade and is like core and pocket still, right? Compressed cooldown is actually a pretty bad item, but if you buy compressed cooldown, you will always buy superior, so it doesn't even matter where I rate this item. This item might as well not exist, and it wouldn't change anything. Duration extender is same thing. Superior duration I don't think is as good as superior cooldown, but I put it like high B. Improved spirit, meh. Mystic slow actually pretty solid. Not as good as like slowing bullets in my opinion. Pretty solid. Mystic vulnerability, mid. Quicksilver reload, easily A tier, right? Easily an A. Like, so many characters this item is super useful on. Slowing axe, situational, but it does disable movement abilities of the enemy. So this is still like core on Warden, I think. People need to buy this on Warden every game still. Spirits up. Mid item, but it does upgrade into Silence Wave, which I think is definitely underrated, and I almost want to rate it A tier. Like a mass AoE silence is actually very strong, but here, okay, I'll rate it B because it's spirit, it shreds their spirit resist, and right now meta is more gun later, and you buy this later. But it does kill people, right? If I get silence on something, this guy does kill people, so that's good. Suppressor, mid. Decay, boop, boop, boop. Straight S tier item. Somehow this does like half your HP every time for no cost, and you don't have to aim it. Yeah, a very balanced item, guys. A no aim item that does more damage than most active abilities in the game. Yeah, silencing is still really good. Okay, I'll put it low A. I'll put low A. Like all the A tier items are really strong too, you know. Okay. Great expansion, situational, like mid. Knockdown, situational, low B. Rapid recharge, trash. I think this item... If you want like... Okay, what would you buy rapid recharge on? Like maybe like Infernus late game? Or like Shiv Knives? But then why not buy superior cooldown, bro? Holiday? But why not buy superior cooldown where it reduces everything? I think it's a bad item. It's a big price for what it does. Okay, there's a few niche... Okay, I'll put it C. Surge of Power, a bit better. I love Surge of Power as an item, but I think it's kind of... B tier. Spirit Snatch, very good. Melee items, very strong. Tank Buster, still very, very good. I'll put Tank Buster in A still. People are acting like this item is useless now. I think it's still core on like so many spirit characters, and it's pretty easy to proc. And it does good damage still. Torment Pulse, mid item. I don't know, I don't see anyone. I don't think I've ever had a single... In all the games I've played, I don't think I've had a single person use Arctic Blast against me and get value out of it. Ever. Unless I didn't notice. It's 6k. I know they buffed it, but like... D tier. Boundless. I guess as like late game luxury upgrade on like a super high spirit character, but it's way weaker than it used to be. Before it used to like heal you, now it does like it only gives you spirit now, right? It only gives you spirit, so Curse is Curse. Can't rate Curse low, right? Curse is good. Echo Shard is Echo Shard. Can't rate Echo Shard low. Escalating, apparently people are telling me it's better than before stat wise, and it did get buffed. I'll put it like B tier. It's not a core item on anything. Like you can... It just adds damage, I guess, late game. E-shift. Refresher. Good. Yeah, good. E-shift C tier, actually. Reverb. Mercurial. Actually, this item is this item is actually bad. I think this item is actually bad now. It should on paper be the best item in the game for Wraith, but it's not. And on every other character it's weaker. E-shift is nice. Why? For 6k? Why? What is the cooldown on E-Shift? "22 seconds? I guess technically it's like 18 seconds, huh? What is it with superior cooldown? Let's see. Okay. See, now we're talking, kinda. But it's still 6k. I kinda wanna try it on Wraith now. Instead of Unstoppable, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I guess like it. Okay. I'll up it a tier to B, but not higher. Magic Carpet. D tier. Lightning Scroll. A. Actually, I think this item is like... A lot of people are running this, but I think it's like hard to see what it does, but it like disrupts the entire fight. It's very strong on a lot of characters with AoE ults. Focus Lens. Solid, no? Solid B. Great on Wraith. Scourge, actually OP. This item is actually OP. I'm not gonna put it S tier, but it's actually really strong. It gives you, like, if you have a melee character, you have insane spirit resist, and it does insane damage. Like, it's in an AoE. Yeah. Like, I've had a Moonquill solo me with this while he was down money on me. It's actually kind of crazy. Wait, what is Scourge's cooldown? 26 with superior cooldown.
Items on cooldown.
How long does this last? 10 seconds. Hey, that's like kind of crazy, no? Yeah. Okay, high A tier. Or do we rate it S? Okay, S. S tier. Spirit Burn? I want to say high A. It did get nerfed a bit. It's still insane. Like, this is still the best anti-healer item in the game. Vortex Web? Straight trash. I don't know. Okay, D. It's better than... Like, these items are unusable. If you buy these, you're throwing the game. Okay, there it is. Oh my god, that was a lot of yapping. I'm never doing that again, man. Only Aquatiel is on the internet, obviously.